しみはこれからだ。
So hi, hello, welcome to my Arise TCG deck building guide per se. I know this is very unusual for me to do because, yeah, voice review, yeah, it's my first explanational video. I just feel like it has been quite some time actually since my last TCG video, and I feel like the format's really good. I feel like I'm very interested, same as more and more people from time to time, and I just think it's right to make a more longer video to cover everything that I didn't really cover that well on my TCG videos, my last TCG videos that is. So I made this video to my TCG folks out here that want to play Arise, that want to know how do I feel about the deck, how am I playing the deck, what do I think about the format, and I think the format's pretty good, especially now after the Banlist, now that we have Monkey Boards to 3, which is nice, and also Ryzeo will probably fall off a little bit because because Detonator is at 1. And that means Arise is playable now because Arise sucks very much into Ryzeo. And yeah. So, first thing that I want to talk about is the power ratios of the deck. The cards that you need to have. The basic ratios that you need to have to be playing a deck like Arise Performapal. Then I will talk about the ratios that I personally play and why do I think it's the correct one. At least from my experience, of course. Then I will talk about the extra deck cards, how can we fill the extra deck spots, also some tech cards that you can add to your main deck, and yeah, so very basic stuff. First card, obviously the main piece of the deck, why you play the deck, is Arise Archpendulum Dragon. Obviously the core, you need at least one to be able to play this deck. The deck can't play without him right now. So yeah, 3 Revolution Dragons because it searches Arc, and we always cycle through Arc. 3 Arise Seer because our main combo relies on opening or having access to both Revolution plus Seer in some way or shape. So because of that, we want to maximize on those cards, obviously. 3 copies of Joker, best normal summon of the deck, Omni Searcher. I don't think I need to explain this. Monkey Board now at 3. Finally, oh my god. More copies of Joker. Also, if you have Joker, you can just grab an extra copy of a card that you might want to add just to play around interruptions, especially to punish Beyond the Pendulum getting negated and stuff like that. So now for the Performapal package, 1 of Butler, at least at 1, the main archetype extender of the deck. 1 Gentrude because it opened some combos like Joker plus Monkey Board and such. We need Gentrude to be able to have more 2-card combos because our main extender, Butler, goes Snag because it destroys, and Gentrude kinda makes it a bridge so you can still combo. 1 Pendulum Sorcerer to grab Dissolver and Synchron, also both at 1 because it's our Garnet, like why would you play more than 1 Synchro or 1 Dissolver? 1 Lady Angie, again at least 1 to be able to be dumped by Valet, also at 1 at the core, and 1 Arise Mirage Dragon. Mirage can be any level 4 or lower dragon pendulum monster that can be searched by Revolution, and Mirage sorta is the standard one per se, just because it's a name, like it's an in-archetype name. Also, it has very cute interactions with Vortex and such, so but it can be any low-level dragon like Dark Worm or like Vumina. And now, a very controversial take, Sky Iris plus Terraforming TCG. The reason I like Sky Iris at 3 is mostly because Sky Iris turns any hand that only has access to Revolution or Seer plus a random name into Revolution plus Seer. You know, just fixes some bad hands. It can happen. Like, the consistency of the deck is not really good enough, and because of that, Sky Iris just helps kind of fixing bad hands. You know, I know it like sucks play into draw, playing into Ash, but like, yeah, I use it more as a consistency piece rather than like a ancient requirement for decks like Blue Eyes as an example. So yeah, you need that tree. Like, also, it helps you to play around kind of every single possible interruption. If you get nibbed, Sky Iris saves you. If you get interrupted on Pendulum Sorcery, you can still guarantee fusion or synchro access. So like, yeah, personally, playing the card at 3 for sure. Like, that's not debatable for me, but I guess you can play less copies. But yeah, extra deck, one of Vortex, one of Arms of the Next, kind of like a Baron substitute, because Baron is not alive anymore. So it kind of covers for that, because it's a monster negates based on the attributes that you have on grave. So if you have a light, and your opponent activates a light monster effect, you can banish the light monster on your graveyard, then negate and destroy. So yeah, cute. One absolute, in case you want to go to OTK, going second to go into the Rebellion package, or you kind of just don't have fusion access, and 2 level 7 guys can make it absolute and guarantee your Vortex. So a utility card. Now the Rebellion package, it's kind of, you can play without it, but like, kind of a favorite of mine. So I just like it very much, gives you the extra push. Going second, I don't think the deck has enough going second power without this package, even if it's not that accessible. But yeah, kinda needs it, especially without Electromite, without Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom. You can't really guarantee a very good OTK setup, and Rebellion helps with that. So yeah, 1 IP, 1 Beyond the Pendulum, 1 Exceed, 1 SP Little Knight, and 1 access code, again for the OTK setup. Access code plus Overlord is really nice. Now, how do I play? So my personal ratios, I think you guys can pretty much already tell by the way I play on my videos, but first thing, it's the second copy of Arc Pendulum, mostly because okay, the second copy of Arc Pendulum comes up a lot, actually. Just having the extra level 7 access to go into XYZ plays, or just in case you are going to a grinder game, you will want for sure to have the second Arc Pendulum. And just like a very good sweet spot for the card. It's not very bad to draw, even if it only has a useful pendulum effect. So yeah. Also Valet, for the same reason. You want to play 2 copies, because if you have 1 in your hand, you don't really want to go neg on Arc Pendulum's effect. And also it's a good high scale, kind of, to protect IP, to protect your endboard pieces. So 2 Valet, it's also the sweet spot for me. And again, in case you cycle through Arc Pendulum's effect on turn 3, you will miss the second Valet. So yeah, kinda like the sweet spot. I never want more. I think 3 is too much, definitely too much. but one is kind of like too risky. I feel like you can for sure like get around it, but I just don't really like it. Next one is Butler. I feel like Butler. So I played Butler at every single copy you can play, and Butler it's also very clunky for an extender to be really meaningful to increase. Like, first thing, it goes nag, and because it goes nag, you kinda just don't have enough good hands that can really profit of opening Butler. You just prefer to cycle through Butler later on in the combo normally, or just dump it as a second target with Valet. And I call it the Blake hero effect, that I don't really want to play more copies of cards that don't add to combo or just don't increase your chances of opening combo, and Butler's case it's exactly that. So yeah, just at one. Same reason with Lady Angie. Lady Angie, you don't really get anything meaningful if you are playing more copies of her. It can be like somewhat useful in the grind game, but at the end of the day, Lady Angie is just a low scale, and you have kind of plenty of those. So I just never miss the second Lady Angie. I don't feel like you want to play the second Lady Angie. You obviously can, but I wouldn't, for sure wouldn't. And if you're thinking, okay, if I cycle through Valet and Arc Pendulum on a grinder game, what do I do? Like, I already cycled through Butler, I already cycled through Lady Angie, and my answer to that is that, like, with Vortex Negate, you always want to, pretty much always want to shuffle Butler into your deck, just because you will for sure want to have the access to your in-archetype extender again. So yeah, just like profit of Vortex shuffling effect and just live like that, you know. Next one, I guess it's Gentrude. Gentrude is complicated because, like, it's not really a good card to open, but it's your second way to get access to your combos. Like, Joker plus Gentrude is combo because you can scale the range and just pop from there, but like, you don't really want to do that. You much rather prefer comboing with Revolution and Seer. So you can for sure just play at 1, but for me 2 is again the sweet spot, but you can play at 3, you can play at 1. It's like up to you personally. For me sometimes it depends on the day, it depends on the build, and usually just 2 is fine, 1's fine. You kinda like just play what you think is right, I guess. It really doesn't matter in Gentrude's case. Both at 1, 2, or 3 are fine. Now some tech cards that you can add is, my personal favorite is Persona. Persona is a low scale, searchable low scale. Also, it has a very cute level to make synchro plays with Orai Synchro to summon a level 7, and it has a very nice effect of once per turn targeting extra deck monster negate, and I just feel like it's a very nice card to have access. Worst case scenario, you just have another endboard piece, and best case scenario, you saved your main combo because you have access to a low scale. So yeah, I feel like the Garnet is reasonable and it's cute and I like it very much. So yeah, when it's fine. Again, Blake Hero effects, you obviously don't want to increase cards that don't translate into combo or add anything that meaningful to your deck, so I won't be playing more than one Persona. Another one that you can play is Phantasma. My thing with Phantasma is that I don't really want to increase my bricks too much just to get into very, very niche situations, because with Phantasma you can kinda play around Nibiru more because of the pendulum effect, but it's too niche for me to justify the brick only for a very specific situation, so I prefer not having it on my main deck at least. But yeah, it's worth the mention. Another package that it is very interesting is the Vulmina package. The Vulmina package essentially consists of Vulmina plus Rabbit plus any other trap that Rabbit can set. And this package essentially adds one more interruption, because Vulmina, if a monster special summoned by your trap effect, meaning if you activate as a rune or if you activate Trick, Vulmina can target one card on the field and return it to the hand, so you get the extra interruption when you use Rabbit, and that's cute, that's okay. But I feel like the end board of the deck on TCG right now, it's very lackluster, and because of that, I kinda feel like if I want to play combo, I more so just need to play with the Vulmina package, because the extra interruption really adds up. Like, even if it's just one, it's meaningful enough. Yeah, life without Apollousa and Baron is rough. Now, how can I feel this extra deck? Would be with cards like Meteor Burst. Meteor Burst also very cute and a very personal favorite of mine, because it just facilitates your going second lines to OTK. Also, the Tempai counter, that's so silly. And just like, yeah, my reasoning behind Meteor Burst is just more access to the Rebellion package to OTK, and some very like niche situations of summoning a card that is on my scale. Next one, you can play Chaos Angel because this deck can kind of make it very easily, because Valet can dump Butler can just pop a scale, and you have a Light and Darkness Chaos Angel. Same with Persona. Also, we have Seer and a bunch of level 4, so Seer plus a level 4 also makes Chaos Angel. I feel like the card is okay right now. Ryzeal kind of makes it so it's rough. Like, Ryzeal can't really out it, so this is a good point for him. But I feel like it doesn't really makes you win games sometimes. It's fine. The card's fine right now. You can play with, you can play without. Like, both are okay. What I feel like it's mandatory for me, at least, is the second Beyond the Pendulum and second Exceed the Pendulum. The Exceed the Pendulum, not as much, but the second Beyond the Pendulum is absolutely mandatory. In case you go into a grinder game, you will want for sure the second Beyond for the search, for the bot breaking, for the just checking some interruptions. I feel like the card is too good and mandatory for this deck to be like play at only one. And Exit's case, it's kind of just to link climb more easily, going like on turn 3, because you just cycle through the first one very easily to revive Synchro, and because of that you can miss the second one. But again, it's not really the same case as Beyond, so you can play with only one. And you can also add a Baguska. I feel like Baguska right now just sucks, because extra Ryzeal can just kill Baguska. Also, Mermail has outs to it. Malice doesn't really care. And I just feel like it's not the right format for Baguska to be meaningful. Even if you get like Shifter, or if you get like Trolled, you probably won't win anyway, even if you make Baguska. So I just feel like it's not really worth the extra deck slot. I'm much rather play the Chaos Angel for some utility to close games. And as you can see, I played the original Horizon Rebellion Dragon. I played the OG, not the new one, because two reasons actually. First one, this card very rarely comes up, like you can never make it normally. And the second one is that it is more accessible because of Meteor Burst. Sometimes I get how can I say this? I kind of just can't link climb more. Like, if I have Absolute Dragon, sometimes I can't make Absolute go to the grave. Sometimes, like, it's not really that often, but it has happened quite a lot for me to prefer OG. And because of that, because of OG just wants 2 dragons, you can make Orai's Rebellion Dragon with Mirror Burst plus Archon Scale. And I just feel like it's more easy. It's just more convenient for me, I feel like, than a card that I will never make right now. Like, you ain't never making Orai's Rebellion XYZ Dragon with 2 arcs and you cycle through one of them in your scale. It's never happening, bro. Like, come on. It's never happening. Another one that you can play, it's, I guess, Typhoon. But because Typhoon has some points, because if you have like access plus Rebellion Dragon Overlords, you don't have more pops on access. You can just make Typhoon over access and get the extra pop, quote unquote. But yeah, it's useful enough, I feel like. I also just think Typhoon's kinda sick, too sick actually. But again, like the card that you make after you lose the duel, you know. And so yeah, just another option. And that pretty much covers the main ratios of the deck. A sample version would look like this. Where? Here. Sample version would look like this. Pretty standard. Now we have 9 spaces for non-engine or engine. Ways that you can obviously fill this space is with hand traps, so like Ash Blossom, Ua, College, King Perm, something like that works, you know. But what you can also do is add extenders, more extenders to the deck, like the Kashira cards, like Bestials, like, I don't know, Disa Blaster. Disa Blaster is a good one. I feel like the only worth noting right now, especially right now, it's the Kashira version, quote unquote. Kashiras are just... Okay, in Pendulum decks, the Fenrir is just way more valuable than like in normal decks, because normally you just get Fenrir, and sometimes Fenrir going second can just, okay, force an interruption, but you don't really summon the guy that Fenrir searches. In this deck, in any Pendulum deck, we also profit of the name that you search with Fenrir. So Unicorn, getting access to Unicorn right now, especially right now because Detonator is at 1, it's actually very, very valuable, even against Malice. So I feel like worst case scenario, if you get 2 like hand trapped to death, you can just play Kashira control. And in this version I have like 8 Kashira names, which is a lot, so you can pretty much guarantee that you will have a cash name on hand, and that's pretty dope. Also very good level to make Absolute, so you can guarantee more Vortex on your place. So yeah, one of my favorite versions, of course, just because I feel like the Kashira as an engine is just so strong, especially right now. Another version that you have is Sky Striker. This version was a little bit better in dealing with Detonator, because this deck could not play into Detonator, and right now obviously it can't, but I feel like Ryzel will be way less popular with only 1 Detonator. But I guess it's worth talking about because Engage can get Hornet Drones can summon Kagari, Kagari can add Engage, and Engage can add Widow Anchor, so you get 1 interruption plus a body to make Beyond the Pendulum, which is cute. And yeah, I just feel like it's very worth noting the utility, but right now this version won't be really getting more popular. There are some, like you can play on ice with supplementary engines, like the Supreme King one, with the Supreme King cards, the Gate Magician, with Dark Worm, Light Worm and such. You can also play with the Superb Samurai cards, because one Wakaushi is full or ice combo, funny enough. But my problem with those versions, like any supplementary engine version, is you either just open the card and profit, or just don't and die right there. Supreme King 1 is a little bit better because it's somewhat in engine. Like, Revolution can grab Dark Worm, and Joker can grab Gates Magician. But the Supreme King 1, it's just too redundant for me. Like, if you have combo with both Gates Magician and Revel Seer, I feel like it's just not like good, you know? The redundancy just adds too much. Also, it's very clunky to side with the Supreme King engine, just because you either end up with a very lackluster main deck by removing the engine, or you just end up with very clunky ratios. Like, brother, if you are playing the Supreme King Gate cards, just play like Supreme King Bestials, or play Pure Arc, or play Pendulum Magician, you know? Like, with this deck, I feel like you're just playing on ice with better cards, and you are just better off playing those cards alone. And yeah. Now, before talking about my favorite version of the deck right now, I want to clarify something. The deck's position right now as a combo deck, it's really bad for me, at least. Because you have too many bricks, too many cards that don't really resonate well with each other. We have like Pendulum Sorcerer, which is a card from 2015, which sucks right now. It goes even, so just like bad, piece bad. Both Gentrude, Lady Angie, and sometimes even Valet don't really resonate well with cards like Seer, cards like Arc, cards like Revolution. So half of the deck, it's kind of like positioned in one side, and the other half, it's on another side, and they both don't really mix well. So that sucks. We also have bricks like Dissolver, bricks like Synchron, which don't really help you in any way. Also, even it's not like Persona's fault, but adding one extra big brick, they add up, man. Like, they add up, especially in longer turns. And because of that, I'm kind of like very annoyed by the way the combo deck that is on ice is right now. You have like this glass cannon that most of the times won't work, and even if it does, it can also lose. So it's not like a cannon, it's more like a handgun or something like that, you know? Because Vortex plus very specific monster negates plus like Ezreal setup, and sometimes I pin to SP, because if you get interrupted, yeah, that ain't happening. It's rough, man. Like, it's rough. It's not good at all. But yeah, when thinking about this frustration, I messed around with Primite a lot, actually. So Primite, firstly, I love Primite. I could like talk about Primite the entire day, and obviously it's not like what it is for Blue Eyes, or even Dark Magician, or even Red Eyes, but it's something. Okay, it's something. Let me cope. What Primite does, it's essentially either getting like 1 to 2 bodies on field, because God forbid Arc Pendulum being a monster effect. So because he's a vanilla, we can summon Arc with Load, second effect, Auto Roar, first effect, and sometimes you can guarantee Drill Beam, which is very cool because Drill Beam is busted. But it's like essentially like more access to Arc Pendulum, and also can print a level 7 on the field when you want it. So in the middle of my frustrating process with the way the deck was performing as a combo deck, I kinda wanted to mess around with a more mid-ranged playstyle, relying more on the deck's main like archetype, the deck's main utilities, cards like Pendulum Graph, cards like Vortex, you kind of want to profit more of those, play kind of more control. So I came up with this idea, not me alone, like me and some other members of the Arise Performance Power Discord channel on the Messenger server, and we cooked this. It's not like that good, but it's something. The main idea of this build is to Ritual Summon Pendulum Graph, because when you are comboing, you can destroy Beyond the Pendulum and Arc in your scale to get Drain Shroud plus any name, and because Drain Shroud has because Drain Shroud is scaled with Lady Angie, plus you have only Pendulum monsters on your field, you can add one Arise card for your deck to your hand, which means you can add cards like Arise Advent, which can Ritual Summon Pendulum Graph. Simple enough, right? But problem number one of this build is, one, it's not that control oriented. You still have some garnets, you still have almost the same garnets, they are just like less hurtful for you. And sucks into Ryzion, like one detonator just like clears this end board. Also, like, yeah, just not very good. I feel like I just like didn't like it that much. Another version of this is something like this, where you just Pendulum Summon Pendulum Graph. You just play very, very, very low to the ground at the core of the ward. So you maximize on cards like Spiral Flame Strike, as an example, could be anything really, but I just wanted to play Spiral Flame Strike. You just like, your end board with this specific build is very similar to the other one, just with lesser bricks. Also, you cycle through Absolute into Vortex instead of just relying on Pendulum Graph, which is a little bit better, I feel like. And with fewer bricks, you can add a Gentruding there, or even just removing Lady Angel. I don't know, the deck list is not complete. It's something that I want to optimize even more throughout the year, until we get support, because, yeah, this deck really needs it right now. Oh my god. And I feel like Primite, it's just my personal way to go. I just like enjoy it way more than playing combo. And also, Primite enables some very cute lines when OTKing, as you can see right now. Very, very cute. It's dope, man. I just like the engine very much, so I want to mess around with it more. And that's pretty much it for the versions. Also, not very high amount of non-engine. Like, just don't get me wrong. All of this, like Primite, something. If you are thinking, okay, Entertainer is telling me that I need to play Arise Control. No, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling, if you want to play Arise and you have access to Primite, have fun, my guy, have fun. Because this is fun for me. This is very fun for me. I want to optimize this. I want to make this more competitive in more ways. Because it's just like what I like to do, you know? If you have if you want my, okay, Entertainer, what do I play? This is probably your best bet right now, this version right here. And this will be a project of mine that I will be cooking until we get decent support. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Can you feel the power? So to summarize everything, the deck's position right now, I feel like the deck is a little bit quote-unquote playable. The format's rough and the deck is very lacking to compete against modern decks right now, especially decks like Mermail, like Ryziel, Malice, Blue Eyes, pretty much everything these days. But you can still some wins if you are lucky, if you play well. I feel like the combo version with Kashira is probably the best version that I can recommend. I feel like the caster engine is really strong. I feel like it gives the deck a little bit more of a push, even if you don't have a good non-engine amount. Like, as you can see, I didn't really talk much about non-engine just because the deck can't really fit a comfortable amount to be really meaningful. So it doesn't really matter if you are playing one tactics and like 2 trusts, or you are playing 3 full loss. It really doesn't really matter, to be honest. So I decided to skip that. I feel like it's not really that important for me. Play with what you have, play with what seems right to you. For example, in my Primate version, I have tons of spells, so Trust gets a lot more value in that list, but normally it won't, so kinda mess around with the idea. And my favorite version is Primate. I will optimize more, try to make it as competitive as possible and as playable as possible, just because I feel like it's the way Konami kinda wants the deck to be played, because I feel like the combo version is just very bricky, very meh, compared to every modern combo deck. It's just that lackluster. So I will focus on playing more control, see if that can work or not. And yeah, let's see, am I missing something? I didn't talk about every single combo, every single tech card, just because I feel like it's not really important too much. So I decided to just talk about what I feel like it's more playable, so it's more decent. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you have any questions, just let me know. I will try to cover locals more, but I can't really afford Primate, so I don't know about that right now at least. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful day and see you guys around. Peace.